Welcome to another edition of the SportSport. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the SportSport here on a Monday. Once again, the Barnes and Tony Show, the morning post horseshoe. How you feeling, sir?
Great, dude. It's great to be back at the Horseshoe last night for sure. That was awesome. And obviously stoked to talk some golf, some hockey, some baseball, dudes. We do have, obviously opening day is upon us. The week of.
Which
is crazy to think about.
Basically, you could say Merry Christmas, Tony. We've been waiting for this all off season, since October, since November. And here we are. So obviously that is just a great feeling. Just so much going on in the world of sports. I mean, it really is a very special time of the year.
Yeah, especially with the stout lineup that the Yankees will have.
Yeah. I mean, I know Riley Souza doesn't think so.
No.
We're going to score more runs than the Red Sox. I mean, I'd love to do a sideways with that. Yeah.
Dude, he definitely would do that, dude.
Yeah, but it's like we're going to score more. Like, I don't know what the question is. Right? I mean, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. But I did see already that we did have a couple of comments.
We do have a couple off rip. Michael Buckta, of course, back in the house, says, "Morning, fellas. Couldn't sleep at all last night because I'm still it's still hitting me hard." He says, "I will get over it by tomorrow," he says, which is, I guess, kind of interesting. And he says, "Now I'm going to have to get used to UConn eliminated this year, which is going to take a minute. And I know the women are still in the tourney, but it still feels weird seeing them and not the men." And I'm sure, Michael, it's going to be tough too, this weekend, as you, I would imagine, still continue to watch March Madness. But hey, man, there's always next year,
Now, do you think he could listen to Dave telling him that, it really shouldn't stink too bad? They should be happy with it for 2 seconds, or it would just be a complete rage out, like Dave, public enemy number one.
I mean, maybe not now, but I feel like, like last night we kind of I get stuff to look forward to, like you have a lot of youthful talent develop.
But when you said that, didn't he go, "Wait, what?"
I'm sure talking to Dave will pour some salt in his wounds.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And then Josh B in the house says, "What up, fam? Happy Monday. Let's have a week, dude. And we shall have a week, dude. Big fantasy draft tomorrow night, 8:30.
Absolutely. Kev Dew almost messing it up post Flan, but
I don't know.
Couldn't hang in there.
Yeah, could do it, couldn't do it.
I mean, I get the joke. I get the joke. I mean, he was just saying it because, there was a lot of back and forth with the group chat. It just always seems like that. I mean, I've done a lot of fantasy leagues over the years, and it's just always the draft. Wait, this day, that.
It's a lot of coordination, a lot of people, different scheduling, the overlap.
Back in the day when it wasn't online, how hard it was to get scheduling. I mean, now you could, draft from anywhere.
Yeah.
And he says, "Please understand where I'm coming from." I was just saying, listen, I understand. I'm a fan, but I just don't think Mr. Rothenberg understands.
No. I mean, he's definitely. I mean, obviously, I would imagine he was, kind of a little bit more partial to St. John's.
But I think his son is a UConn fan, though.
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about today, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But in any case, I mean, it's been a tough March Madness for, I think, a lot of people, a lot of different schools.
Yeah,
and it's interesting too, the narrative now. And obviously, it's easy to say that now because they are both out. But a lot of people are talking about how like the Big East just wasn't strong conference. Other teams were just more battle tested because their conferences were more hard.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Usually they get a couple more teams in the field, because you think about serious contenders this year. I mean, obviously St. John's wins the conference to go out in the second round, and Creighton was good, not great second round. UConn, good, not great second round. And then Xavier lost in the first four.
Yeah.
So
Not
that was
good.
it for the Big East.
Who
But
they lose to? Texas.
Texas,
Yeah.
who ended up actually getting rid of their coach. They're going to go with Sean Miller,
Mhm.
former Arizona, and was just coaching Xavier. So it was interesting. They just played each
wow.
other. Now he's going on the other side of the court there. So
Interesting.
wow. But what else is he saying here?
He says that he's definitely still watching the tournament, which I am happy to hear. And then he says it's cloudy and cold. It's a blue Monday all around. Right, he is, by the way. It is.
Yeah, no. These days
out there,
it is tough, though. It is tough, like mentally, how that is. Like,
yeah.
You think, it's just weather, but it really, especially when it's cold, like I feel like it just makes you have that feeling of like just not wanting to move.
Yeah,
kind of, right? Like
move.
you just want to hustle.
And it's a Monday on top of it, dude. Just get under the covers, man.
Yeah, get the heat on, the blanket, the heating pad.
Wow. Okay.
Feet. In the warm water, right? Really, hot tub, right? Hot
tub sounds nice right now.
Yeah.
And he says that he had a great call in last night. He did have a solid call in last night.
Yes,
and then he says, "Watch out! I'm a bigger UConn fan than you."
I mean, listen, Michael. What do you want me to say there?
I mean, you're
not many people are a bigger UConn fan than you, Michael.
That's true.
I'm definitely a big UConn fan, but you are tough to top. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, he is, dude. He says, I'm on point, dude. And he is. The trivia last night.
Oh, and yeah, Gino, he did get me there.
Texas lost to Xavier. Xavier lost to the Fighting.
That's what it was. Wait, but didn't no, I think I said that. Because then I said they lost in the first four.
Xavier did.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, Blue Monday.
Blue Monday. It's tough, dude.
Thanks, though.
I'm excited he's tuning in, dude. That's fucking awesome,
that
dude.
is awesome.
And then Michael Buckton says this loss, the UConn loss, is not hitting anyone hard but me, dude. No one is a bigger UConn fan than me. You are a good UConn fan, though, Barnes.
Yeah. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's not hitting anybody hard. There's definitely alumni out there, who are ready to take the trip west to San Francisco. But unfortunately, that's
not going to happen.
Wasn't in the cards. And I guess, while we're, already talking about, college basketball here, we did get the late night game in. Arizona was able to beat Oregon. So now we have, our full Sweet 16 set here, Tony.
Yeah.
And I know we kind of ran over it yesterday, but just kind of refreshing everybody's minds here. We're going to get underway 7:00 on Thursday between number 6 BYU, number 2 Alabama. We talked about that last night.
That's
definitely a potential upset spot there for BYU. And
yeah,
I think it'll
baby.
just be a great game overall. Alabama laying the 4.5 there, and a lot of scoring expected. 174.5.
Tight dog.
Growing up, totals just were not that high. That's for sure. And then I think another one. I mean, I know step up in competition here for Maryland, Tony, and Kevin Willard there. But I mean, the walk-off win against Colorado State. Now they go up against Florida. So I think right. I mean, I'm thinking that's going to be a close game. Not to say that Florida doesn't have the edge. 6.5, though. I don't know. I think I would be tempted to take the points there with Maryland. I could see it being how both of these games. I mean, both of the games were one possession that both of these teams played in the round of 32.
Yeah, and Maryland last night, had that heavy second half push, dude.
Yes.
I mean, they were down by what, like 12 or 10 or something like that. And they come back. The miracle shot at the end there, just the right play. And not for nothing, I think they had great back-to-back plays off of their inbound. So clearly their coach can draw something up when they need to. So yeah, dude, I think they're gonna definitely give Florida a good run for their money.
Yeah. And then the two other matchups on Thursday, 9:39 on CBS. We're gonna get Duke, Arizona. And this is actually from the Prudential Center. So
there we go,
Jersey, from the DTV studios over here. I mean, Duke, has looked unbelievable, throttling Baylor. And I know Arizona's a solid team, but 9.5 point spread here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up blowing out Arizona too. I think this team is just so tough. Cooper Flagg is unbelievable. And just the depth of the team. And I always say his name wrong, but that guy, John, I think it's Knubel, is also a really good player for Duke. Not to mention, their whole roster, is just unbelievable. But that's why we were saying yesterday. They're kind of, on our list, top of our list here as a favorite to win the win the tourney.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it could get a little ugly. Again, battle tested. The talent there is undeniable. And then Gino here's just pretty interesting. Are you upset with the no travel call in the game winner from Maryland?
I think it wasn't definitive that was a travel. I wasn't even thinking travel until it was mentioned after and people were talking about it.
Yeah.
No, and I was rooting for the Rams, but it was just like crazy. Like, everybody loves seeing a walk-off. Like, baseball, the home runs, basketball, the shots, right? I mean, it was really, really exciting.
Yeah, no, it was. It made for some great TV, certainly. And like Brian said, I don't think there really was a travel there. But yeah, obviously tough for Colorado. But yeah, dude. He also says the Texas loss was the stinger for him, dude. And then Michael Buckta back on here. UConn campus can't be doing well today. Definitely in tears, dude. I would think so, right?
I mean, but they have the one savior potentially, though, Paige
the
Beckers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, they're slated to like win the tournament, are they not? Like,
yeah, I mean, but it's been a while. They haven't won in a while. So, I mean, until the nets are cut down, Tony.
I haven't really been following the women's side. I just saw the couple blowouts that UConn has had.
Yes. And then
TCU?
No, but there was another school that's like playing really well right now that South Carolina.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, I suppose.
And then last matchup on Thursday, 10:09 on TBS. You get, and this is from the Chase Center, San Francisco, home of the Warriors, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and John Calipari in Arkansas. Can they pull the upset again? I know we were kind of talking about it again yesterday. I mean, wouldn't be surprised, right?
Yeah, no, definitely wouldn't be surprised. And, we said it seems obviously the upsets for Arkansas, they definitely have the momentum. Texas Tech kind of taking care of business against Drake. Seemed like that was kind of anticipated. So, obviously they have some work out ahead of them, but still, I mean, it seems like that, Texas Tech really hasn't been challenged that much yet this tournament. So I guess we'll kind of see what happens there.
Yeah. And then, on to Friday. Starting at 7:09 again on CBS. And this one is from home of the Atlanta Hawks, State Farm Arena, Atlanta, Georgia. And I said, Georgia. The 6-seeded Ole Miss Rebels. Chris Beard, I think, is still tight. Do you see, like, the faces he was making, though? Like,
no.
I mean, they're winning the game by, like, 30 last night. And he just, the whole time, it's like, just like this. Like,
foot on the pedal.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been an intense coach, but just thought that was kind of funny. And then going against the grizzled vet, Tom Izzo and Michigan State. Michigan State slight favorites there, 2.5 points. I think that'll be a great game. The all SEC matchup at 7:39 on TBS, Tennessee and Kentucky. Tennessee, 4.5 point favorites there. I think that'll be a great game. Tennessee, one of the best teams in the country for sure. And then Auburn, Michigan. That's a 9:39 tip. And Michigan, was on the precipice of getting upset by UC San Diego in the first round. But they advance here to the Sweet 16. Do they have enough to knock off Auburn, who comes in at 7.5 point favorites? Will be interesting to see there. And then last game of the night, 10:09. And this is actually at Lucas Earl Stadium, Tony, home of the Colts. Houston and Purdue. Obviously Houston, has looked good. I know Gonzaga kind of rallied late there, but one of the best teams in the country. But I like we were kind of talking about yesterday, this could be one of the rare times of recent where we get, 3 number ones in the Final Four, or all 4 number ones at least in the Elite 8. So I think, as we get closer to the end here, we're going to have a lot of powerhouse teams playing, which I think only makes it even better.
Oh yeah, as this kind of gets dwindled down here, and I mean at this point, dude, you talk about maybe potentially having all these ones inside. I mean, I guess we kind of said Colorado State last night as kind of a Cinderella run, but at this point, like Arkansas, like for beating St. John's, like let's see them go kind of all the way. Like who are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. I mean, as like a surprise,
Maryland.
I almost want to say BYU.
Yeah,
that
would be cool.
I mean, wire to wire against Wisconsin.
Yeah, that was a good game.
And who's Henny? Is this your burner account, Tony?
Oh no, dude. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know who Henny is. But whoever Henny Head says, dude is rocking the stash. You can tell he loves his job, loves sports. Other guy, not sure yet. Got the fake Yankees hat on, which is kind of interesting.
Fake, except actually
not sure about
it was
all that.
The official spring training hat. So nice try, Henny.
Thank you for tuning in, Henny.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Maybe want to tune out now. No, I'm just kidding, but kind of not really. It's just, I don't know. It seemed like, I don't know if that was like Yankee slide or not, or if you're just talking the hat. But also, I mean, if it is, I mean, you don't know the official spring training hat. I mean, how could you say it's a fake hat, Tony, if it's the official spring training?
No, I mean, yes, you're not wrong there. I definitely feel like Henny here is probably a maybe Dodgers or Red Sox. Or maybe even Mets fan. God forbid,
interesting.
Brian.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure who Henny is. But hey, I mean, you got to brush up on your spring training hats.
Yeah.
Michael Buck just says, not going to lie, Barnes. It's going to be a little hard to watch that Florida-Maryland game on Thursday. I hope you understand why, Dr. Barnes.
He loves the Dr. Barnes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I understand it, Michael. But listen, baseball around the corner will be just fine, right, Tony?
That's right.
And then also we briefly touched on it yesterday at the Horseshoe, but we did have an exciting finish at the Valspar yesterday. Viktor Hovland, getting his first win since the 2023 Tour Championship.
Kind of crazy.
A one-shot victory over Justin Thomas.
Can't believe it.
Who struggled to start this tournament. Caught fire late, but unfortunately, a couple bogeys down the stretch here. Cleared the way, for Viktor Hovland to get the job done here. And it's been a while for JT, since 2022, since he won, like we keep talking about that PGA championship at Southern Hills. But he bogeys 2 out of the last 3 holes. And I mean, that's just not going to get the job done. Viktor Hovland kind of was the opposite, tough down the stretch here. And it's interesting. I mean, it's obviously been way, longer for Justin Thomas since he's won, but it really did feel like it had been a while for Hovland.
Oh, yeah.
So you would think, this is a big, momentum shifter, with Augusta National only a couple weeks away.
Yeah, dude. I mean, definitely puts Hovland in a good position, as Henny does say he's an Orioles fan. And he does have to brush up on his spring training hats.
So as long as that's established, okay? Because I mean, it's like Michael Buck did with UConn. You want to try to tell us something, Michael Buck?
Yeah.
You got no. It's not gonna happen. So same thing with me. Like you're trying to tell me something about anything to do with the Yankees. Like let's just take a step back there.
But yeah, dude. I mean, obviously you're pumped for Hovland. It is nice to see him get a win under his belt. Like you said, didn't start off his tournament exactly great. What did he shoot? Like a 73, I think, or 70.
70.
Round one. It was
JT
Justin
shot
Thomas 73 for round one. Yeah. Kind of interesting that you see these top 2 players who really didn't get their best start off to the tournament necessarily. And Hovland, like you said, did really grind out what he had. I want to say 3 or 4 birdies in the front 9 and basically replicated that on the back 9 as well. So, obviously in this scenario too, where he did have lots of pressure. I know he also bogeyed 18 yesterday,
but it was with a stroke in hand.
Yes,
like a foul to give. Basically.
Exactly, yeah. Like a foul to give, dude. But still, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him. Not for nothing yesterday. So, I mean, to see him kind of come out there, and look better than he has, I think, all year. Did he win? When was the last tournament he won? What did he win?
You're talking about Viktor Hovland?
Yeah,
it was the Tour Championship in 23.
Really?
He didn't win last year.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. I guess to see him come to the winner's circle, like you said, with the Masters, on the horizon here, is going to be huge for the young Norwegian player here. I think honestly, for me, a little bit more of a storyline is Justin Thomas kind of blowing it a little bit, dude. I mean, I don't know, man. I've been able to see him the last couple of tournaments, and I mean, his level of play is just so like up and down.
Yeah,
dude. It's either just really good or really bad.
Taking after his good friend Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, Spieth is a similar one. I mean, I caught some of him this weekend as well. He was not having a good tournament. But I don't know, man. I mean, you think Justin Thomas can kind of figure it out? I mean, do you think I don't know. For me, sometimes it seems like he is so close to like figuring it out and putting together, 4 good rounds. But then there's just other times where it just seems like he's just so lost on the course,
Yeah, But I think he'll get there.
Yeah.
I think his track record, speaks for that. 2-time major champion. So it's just one of those things. Just kind of going through it. And then we got to Ernie's year.
We never did do
year
on this Monday. And then Gino hyped about the Jordan Spieth experience.
Always a fun experience to watch. And I don't know about you, Tony. And I know it seems like he's falling off. Is he really going to get back to where he was? But I always have wanted to see Jordan Spieth get it back. Honestly, I've always enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah, no, I mean I have as well. Seems like a great guy, and again, I mean, in terms of a fan experience, to have him kind of in the mix would be even more better.
And just like Rory has a chance in Augusta in a couple of weeks, Jordan Spieth also has a chance to complete the career Grand Slam if he was able to win the PGA coming up in May at what's it called? Quail Hollow.
Wow.
In North Carolina.
Who do you think completes the career Grand Slam first?
I guess Rory, right? I would say, Rory's playing at a higher level.
Yeah, he is playing at a higher level.
And I think he's probably finished higher in the majors than Spieth has.
Yeah,
recently.
I think it could be kind of a toss-up, though.
Yeah.
But I would have to lean Rory a little bit as well, dude. And then Henny over here does say, I think the Orioles and Yankees fans can agree that the Dodgers have ruined baseball with their signings. Obviously, a pretty interesting take. That's been a little bit of a narrative, over the past, I guess, off season and a half. But I don't know, man. Do you think they are ruining baseball with their contracts?
You want to answer for me or no? You know what I'm going to say. What's the first thing that I usually say with something like this?
The first thing, I don't know. No. Well, play better.
I always just say, they have a great roster, but it doesn't mean they can't be beaten.
Oh yeah. True.
And I think eventually also, it's going to come back to bite. Just in terms of all these deferrals and everything like that, but. There's a reason why, a team hasn't won back-to-back championships in 25 years. You know what I mean? It's tough to do. And the injuries catch up, the fatigue of going later into the season. So that's how I look at it. I just feel like baseball is so much different than, I guess you would say one thing that would come to mind would be like basketball, for instance, where it's not like, okay, you put together a big three. That means you're just going to go to the NBA Finals and win. Just baseball is not like that. The role players are important. And even when you saw last year when the Dodgers won the championship, it wasn't Betts and Ohtani. And sure, Freeman had, Freeman ended up having a good World Series. I guess we could say that. But Betts and Ohtani didn't. It was the Tommy Edmonds, the Teoscar Hernandez, the Kiki Hernandez that were getting the big hits. So that's why I just feel like baseball is different. You could have stars. Role players, you could argue, are just as important. So while they are talented, like I said, I think they could be beaten. And I think the spending, I don't know what you think, but eventually we'll catch up to them. I know people say, oh, so much money, this and that, but you get to a point where you're bleeding, and then, certain decisions will be made at one point. So, yeah,
I'm sure all the deferred money as well.
Yes.
That's going to catch up to them. And that's normally how that happens, with dynasties. I feel like you do have that run, you're playing well, you're adding players, you're still spending the money, you're putting the work in, but eventually, like Freeman's going to want to retire, Mookie Betts is going to want to retire as well, so, it will catch up eventually. They are still the team to beat though, no doubt, it's definitely going to be a tough roster to get to. My mother knows that more than anyone. She says, hello, fellas. Hello, good morning, mother. And then Ernie says, what's popping, guys? How are your drafts? I haven't had one yet. And one that's just going to be tomorrow.
Yeah, and I have one tonight, and then, the one tomorrow. Last night, pretty good. One thing that in hindsight, you're doing the show, you're juggling things. I missed an opportunity to get Jason Dominguez, and I'm just a little tight about it. But other than that, I think my team's pretty good. Deep league, pickups are important, but it just always seems like that. I always have something going on when I have a draft. But tonight is nice. I have Jordan's draft, and I'm just going to be at home, laptop, cell phone, going back and forth, research, no distraction or anything. It was just, I don't know. It just always, and I know it's my fault. I just have too many fantasy leagues, but it just always just happens to happen like that, where it's like the days where I'm just like tonight don't usually happen. And it would have never happened if I didn't say they were trying to do it last week when I was busy. And if I didn't say something, it would have been again where it's like I couldn't put my full attention on it. And it's
That's
like
right.
that's now how you get the optimal results, Tony.
That is correct, dude. You know it. I know it. Ernie knows it. He also knows the Yankees sign Ryan Yarbrough.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only thing,
like, whoa, but it's still a pitcher, right?
It's interesting though. Maybe this is on Twitter. I looked on Google and I didn't see anything. Oh yeah,
yesterday,
minor league deal or
major
league contract.
Major league contract, yeah.
It's just the thing with any signing. I mean, that's the luxury of having, arguably the best pitching coach in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But you do feel like, he can work some magic. And actually, if you do look at the numbers, I mean, he was solid last year.
Mm-hmm.
Had a 3.19 ERA. Pitching all out of the bullpen actually, but 98 innings. Not a strikeout guy, only 65, but 3.19 and 3.74, including with the Dodgers. So a guy who was a starter in the past gives him an option. They have a couple guys starting on the injured list, even though they're not injured, like Ian Hamilton, for instance, just trying to build up his stamina. So it might even be a short-term deal. I think they're going to see how he pitches. So I think it's one of those. I think it's one of those things where there's no risk involved with it, and it gives him another left-handed option besides Tim Hill.
I certainly do think so. And then we have a couple more comments here trickling in. My mother says, "What do I know?" I was making a joke. The Dodgers team to beat,
What's your take on the Dodgers? Or she doesn't? It's just like go Mats, but like
yeah.
I mean, but does she has she said anything? Like, does she think
about the contracts?
Or that like they can be beaten though, is what I'm saying.
She definitely thinks they can be beaten. So, absolutely.
I mean, I would expect nothing less from your mother. Very intelligent woman.
And then Ernie says we should have a side ski, Barnes. LOL. Input our team's info into our own scale and go 1v1.
That's kind of crazy. I have to. I would say I would probably do that with my draft tonight because like the one yesterday wouldn't be fair because it was an 18-team league.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight 12-team. So we'll have to talk about that, Ernie.
And then Henny gets a little bit more deeper into here. He says, yes, Dodgers team to beat, but what can we realistically even do here? This is coming from Orioles fans. I understand the Yankees are a more complete roster. However, the Dodgers will probably win out. So what does anyone honestly do in this situation? At this point, do you just wait for the Dodgers to flare out?
It's just, but I'm just saying, like, and it's, of course, yes, I am rooting for a demise here, a disappointment. I will acknowledge that, but I would not be surprised if the Dodgers don't end up making the World Series, honestly. I could see the Phillies beating them. I could see the Braves beating them. I mean, there's some good teams in the National League.
Yeah, you're missing one.
Come on, Tony. I'm just saying those are the teams, that come to mind. Even Arizona, I think, will have a bounce back year. What about San Diego? San Diego took them to the brink. I mean, San Diego is a good team.
Yeah.
So I just think it's for everybody to just want to lay down for the Dodgers. It's just not. I just think it's not the way.
Yeah, no, and I think it is. It's possible for a team to go out there and acquire other people around the league and still have a roster that is comparable to the Dodgers. So I don't think that it is so crazy that you are rolling over. It is tough. I'm sure as an Orioles fan, I'm sure you probably wanted some more moves to be made this offseason to help out your roster, your rotation, your lineup. Obviously, if staying put, not really doing much like that's not really going to help you guys beat the Dodgers, or anybody really for that matter. But I don't know. At the end of the day, I mean, it's going to be a long season. You're not really sure, what team's going to look like what, come the postseason, come October. Again, like last year, the Braves were probably, one of the favorite teams as well, but they struggle with injuries and obviously, kind of fall flat towards the latter part of their season. So you never know, dude. And I know obviously Dodgers, yes, the injuries, yes, they got it together. Yes, they won. But I mean, that's incredibly hard to do, and it's going to be even harder to do back to back. Like you said, Brian, I mean, the fatigue, the long seasons. I mean, Freddie Freeman was battling through a really tough ankle injury too.
Yeah. And then we just decided to, give him his confidence back with Nestor Cortez floating one over the middle,
Yeah, you really can't do that, but still, I mean, you just don't know like what the team's going to look like, Like, can Freeman do that again? I mean, I don't know, dude. So, obviously we'll see here. It's going to be it's going to be a good season. And I think it's going to be, I don't know, I'm not going to say yet, but I mean, the Dodgers are going to be in it nonetheless, I'm sure.
Yeah. But no, and really, I mean, the Braves, with all that injury bad luck they had last year, you would think this year they're having to do to have some good luck. And if you look at the offense last year, I mean, everybody had a down year other than Marcelo Zuna, but like Olsen, Riley, Albie, Zacuna, I mean, that's a lot of firepower.
Yeah, no, it is. So we'll see. Sean Murphy.
Yeah, Sean Murphy had a terrible year last year. Terrible.
Year.
So I mean, you would think he would bounce back as well. So it would be tough to be a team, in that division, right?
That is probably one of the tougher divisions in the league. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really tough.
Super
tough.
I'm trying to. Oh, okay. What? So probably, I mean, it was last year. Washington finished last, and Marlins were fourth. Yeah.
Washington's so bad.
Yeah, and it's like, but they stick with Dave Martinez, which is interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess he has one.
But yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's frustrating though for Henny, being an Orioles fan, because they have had all these young prospects. I mean, we'll see if Jackson Holiday,
develops.
Yeah, develops. But the offense I think is there. But yeah, to not have any pitching. And then after Angelos passed away, there was talk they're going to spend money. They don't even offer Corbin Burns anything. So kind of a weird situation. But maybe they'll try to pick up some guys as the season goes along. I know they just picked up Kyle Gibson. I know that doesn't move the needle for anybody. And I also see he says, appreciate the optimism, fellas. Sub to have a good day. Love it.
Hell yeah, dude. It's what it's all about.
And
Monday through Friday, 10 a.m.
And I'm glad he knows the official spring training hat of the Yankees now.
Yes. No, yeah. And it's a pretty cool hat.
Yeah.
Old school feel to it with the stripes on it,
Yeah. Yeah. No. It's honestly, I really, it's one of my favorite hats. Not gonna lie.
Wow. My mother also says Dodgers are traitors. They can always be beat.
Exactly. She knows it. We all know it. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I know we were talking Valspar before we got, sidetracked with the baseball. Billy Horschel with the tie for fourth. I don't know if you saw this, but he's a right-handed golfer. Hit a shot left-handed, like 120 yards out.
Oh, I did see that.
And then made this like 30-foot putt after. He's always been kind of one of those more underrated golfers, on the tour. I think he had a win last year. I forgot what event it was. Alternate event, I think. So he's a guy who's been around for a while. Seamus Power back to the top 10 here at -6. I mean, that's a big tournament. We haven't seen him high up in the leaderboard. And three guys who all tied with Seamus Power here had great weeks. Lucas Glover, Corey Connors, Shane Lowry. Seems like they've been heating up recently, Tony. So they're guys to kind of, watch out for. Maybe they can contend at Augusta. And obviously, Schauffele, a two-time major champion just last season. Shane Lowry, the Open champ. So, you never know, what you're going to get there. And further down, Tommy Fleetwood with a tied 16th. Mac Meisner has been making cuts recently. He was 2 under, as well as Michael Kim, who's kind of had a resurgence. And then we talked about Jordan Spieth. Had a Jordan Spieth type of tournament here, finished 2 under, but opened 74, went 69, 67, and then finished with a 72. A couple of guys who I feel like have not taken off like we expected would be Tom Kim, who finished at 1 under, tied 36. And then also at 1 under, Sahith Theegala. Who do you like out of those two to kind of, get it going again?
I mean, I guess Theegala maybe. Just because, Kim, I forget what tournament I picked him for, but like you say, he's just been underperforming, And I know Theegala has as well, but I don't know. I just feel like Sahith, I don't know. Is he a little bit older than Kim? I don't know. But I just feel like I've seen more of him, and he's had some good tournaments, has some good wins as well on the tour. So I would say out of those two, maybe Theegala is someone who can maybe become more of an outlier. What do you think?
I just Tom Kim, he's won a couple times. It just seems like he has a higher ceiling, does it not? Because he's won a couple times. He was big on the Ryder Cup team.
Yeah, huge for the Ryder Cup.
Theegala just hasn't had I feel like the same level of success. Not that he's not right there, Tony, but there just hasn't been many wins.
Yeah.
Was it 1 win?
1, I think, yeah. If memory serves me, we can double check here.
It's either 1 or none.
One.
It was the 40 net. So that's a fall event back in 2023.
Oof.
And, had some close. I mean, I think it was the waste management collapse.
How old is he?
He is only 27.
Okay.
So
Tom Kinn's 22.
Yeah. So I mean, you would think there's more room for growth there, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah. For sure. And what did he finish? I guess it was Pebble Beach. He was tied for 7th.
But this is not right. I mean that's
everything else.
I mean, sure, Pebble Beach, great.
Yeah, amazing. And it's you have good rounds. You know, you're shooting 66s. I'm seeing. That's great. But it's first round of the Arnold Palmer 78 ends up getting cut.
Not good.
Can't do that. Yeah, but I guess like we were saying, maybe he's still young. Give him a couple of years, the experience.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. But I would say for this year, I would anticipate Thigala winning something before Kim.
Interesting.
Right.
I'm gonna go with the opposite. I think Tommy's gonna turn it around. He will.
Do you think it's more likely that one of them win or none of them wins this year?
I think it's more likely that I think Kim's gonna win.
Yeah.
I think he's a good golfer. Wait, go back. I want to see something. Go back to last season with him. Go to year 2024. Because I was trying to think, he lost in a playoff. I think it was to Scotty. I don't know if it was at the Travelers.
One runner up here.
Travelers playoff second. Yeah, I think that Scotty won the Travelers last year, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that was the tournament I was trying to think about. But you see, some better finishes here, but kind of still all over the map. And how many wins does it say for? What do you know? Scotty won.
Yeah, what it was.
3 wins. Okay, and then go to just go on the career tab and go. Let's see. So I was just curious what tournaments it was. Okay, so the Shriners twice and the Wyndham. So he hasn't, had that big tournament win yet. But I think it's coming, honestly. And obviously, time is on his side.
Yeah, that's for sure.
At age 22. So, and then Carlton.
Yeah, hype for Billy Horschel, 2014 FedEx Cup champ, dude.
Wow.
There we go.
Billy Ho, they like to call him.
Wow, that's a great name.
So yeah, I mean, who knows? He definitely could find himself in contention. Maybe even at one of these big events. You never know what you're gonna get. Guys kind of come out of the woodwork sometimes. But great time in golf right now. We got the Houston Open. We'll talk about on Wednesday. Like we said, Scotty and Rory in the field, as well as to hit the gala. And I don't think Tom Kim is playing, but we'll get a Thigala.
There we go.
Sighting. So who knows? I mean, this could be the week, right?
You think Billy can win a major?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just everything has to line up. Like, it's think about Rose last year at the Open Championship.
Yeah.
Just so I mean, and Billy was 38, so he's a little younger than Justin Rose. So I would absolutely think so.
Yeah, it would be nice for the Florida native.
Yeah, absolutely. So that being said, if we can move on to the world of Major League Baseball.
What a play! Stop it! Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Drove deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So like we said, opening day week, and I'm earning, Tony, to do
the grid,
dude. Grid, which you didn't know.
Have you peeked?
I did pull it up, yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yankees in the column here.
Yes.
That is nice, dude. There's an immaculate grid up here. So the folks at home can see. Oh boy. All right.
I have a couple off the rip already.
Devin Williams.
No. Because I guess I get confused if
if they have to play a game. Yeah, I guess so.
Do.
Yeah.
But this is a one that I tell you all the time. So Yankees, Brewers, Richie Sexson.
There we go, dude.
That'll be a low one. 2%.
2%er.
And this is going to be so low here. Pat Kelly.
Pat Kelly. You got a beat on Pat Kelly?
And it's the 91 one. Yeah. What? Did I put the wrong?
Oh, man. Is it the other Pat Kelly?
I mean, it was C, I guess, right? Doesn't hurt. Fuck. What was his name? No. This is going to bother me, honestly.
Oh, no.
Or maybe he did play for the Yankees. He just didn't play for the Twins, and I thought he did. What team was he?
St. Louis, Toronto.
My God,
New
what
York,
am I?
Oh, my God.
Happened to turn away, but luckily there were grids over the weekend, so let's just go.
Oh, Ernie's just trying to stay quiet. Oh, he saw
that
it,
was so
dude. He
bad.
saw
That was so
it.
bad. Just
Pat
go,
Kelly,
okay, go
dude.
over the weekend. I'm embarrassed. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on with me. So
That's fine.
annoying.
Let's go. You didn't do any over the weekend?
No.
All right, let's go from yesterday, which is Sunday, dude.
Okay.
Justin Verlander.
Hold on.
No.
So Carlos Pena, A's in Detroit.
That's a good one.
6%. All right, here. And then 2,000 career hits
for the A's.
Ricky?
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Ricky. Oh, it is Y, right?
Yeah.
That was EY.
EY.
I mean,
I don't know.
What'd you expect?
Yeah. All right. And then second base, Jed Lowry for the A's.
Jed. Nice.
Fernando Vina for the Cardinals.
Fernando Vina. 5%.
And then
That's a good one.
Mauricio Dubon for the Astros.
There he is.
5%.
Nice.
And then the 2,000 hits. Let's just so 2,000 hits for the Astros do Carlos Beltran.
Carlos Beltran. Bang. 8%.
All right. And then let's see here. Come on, Ernie.
St. Louis, 2,000 hits. I mean,
just trying to
think of a non-obvious.
Scott Rowland. %.
Nice.
And then let's see. So Detroit, Houston. JD Martinez. %.
Nice.
So it's just the
Cardinals and Detroit.
Ernie?
That's a tough one.
Jack Flaherty. Probably be high, but it's all right.
Jack Flaherty. Okay, so we got it, dude.
Yeah. 20%. 103. So
103,
let's do
not bad.
Saturdays and then.
Oh, yeah, let's do Saturdays.
I mean, that was after a colossal failure.
That was a quick
one, and then we get something like this.
Ooh, god damn, dude. Bunch of numbers, no teams.
Yep.
All
right. So
300 at batting average for just one season, and 300 plus career home runs.
300 plus career home runs. Okay, so outfielder 100 or 40 home runs. Do outfielder Curtis Granderson 40 home run season.
Okay.
How about that?
0.9, dude.
9. All right, and then let's see, 100 RBI season outfielder. Do Bernie Williams for the 100 RBI
for the outfield.
Yeah,
Bernie. .9 again, dude. That's ridiculous.
And how about this?
Dude.
300 average season. Paul O'Neill, outfield.
Here we go.
All Yankees.
All Yankees. All point.
All correct, but no, we'll take a 0.7.
I mean, yes, we'll take a 0.7.
All right. So let's see. So all-star 300 batting season, and then also the 100 RBI season.
300. The average is going to be kind of tough.
But the home runs is actually. Oh, so do Brady Anderson for that one.
Brady Anderson. 4%. Nice, dude. The O.
And then let's see the 100 RBI. Do Giambi.
Wow. 0.4. That's wild.
And then let's see the 300 batting season and the 300 home runs. Aaron Judge.
Is it gonna be too much?
No.
I don't think we've ever used Judge. 1%.
There we go.
There it is, dude. That's really low. I'm surprised that Giambi and Judge were so low, to be honest.
Yeah. It just, you know what it is? There's so many options. That's why.
I guess that makes sense.
And then 300 home runs, career batting, 100 RBI season. Do Gary Sheffield.
Gary, dude. 0.9.
Dude, this actually has the potential to be one of our best ever.
Don't jinx it.
Brian
doesn't believe in jinx.
No, I don't. All right. So the 300 batting season and all-star. I mean, you think about guys. It just like was Arise an all-star? Feels like he had to have been, but I don't like.
I feel like he was, right? Because Josh P was talking about him, and
but you could just go Mookie Betts.
You could just go Mookie Betts.
Yeah, just go Mookie Betts. 0.7.
0.7. Holy shit, dude.
I feel like Ernie has to be in the comments here, no?
Let's take a deep breath here. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Sweet
Swami. Sweat Swami.
Oh, Sweat.
Top left. I guess Carlos Beltran. I think maybe he's a little behind us.
Was Beltran on the last one?
Yeah, I think so. Xander, middle left.
So, okay. So we're just looking for 40 home runs and 300
career home
runs.
Nope. Not Pat Kelly.
I think there was a Kelly though.
I know you were so confident.
Maybe it was was the manager. Last name was Kelly, I think. Like back when Kirby Puckett played there, I'm pretty sure that was the case. But yeah, this could be like literally a million different people. Like obviously, you know, Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr.,
Bonds,
McGuire,
Bonds' dad.
Willie Mays.
What do you
think? I mean, do you think not everybody's thinking Sosa? I think not really, right?
I don't know. This one is, in terms of percentages, this one's really throwing me for a whirl. I guess maybe not. I would think so.
Yeah, go Sosa.
Go Sosa. 14, dude.
That's our low.
That is our low.
I mean, do we need a screenshot of that?
Do you want it?
I feel like we have to. I mean, history definitely. I think, does this beat Ernie's low?
I feel like his is 14.
And it's
That's
interesting
sweet,
because you
dude.
would think no teams. But look at, you know what it is though. On this
All
one?
the percentages are low. Like Brady was the highest.
But you know what though? Of the low percentages, we went even lower.
That's right.
Yeah,
we went even lower.
So I mean, I feel accomplished. You know, after the Pat Kelly.
Yeah, dude, I definitely would be too.
So I think that's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude.
He
Bang.
was going Troy Glaus.
Troy Glaus.
I didn't know he had 300.
And Josh, we try to help out with Soriano, dude.
Well, didn't even need help after the Pat Kelly snafu.
Little snafu at the top, but definitely figured it out, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. So just kind of recapping. Obviously, we're just kind of right there, Tony, in terms of opening day. Are there still? Is it just exhibition, or we still have a couple? It looks like spring training. What, today and tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, Yankees Mets today.
Yankees Mets today, 1-10, I believe, right?
And then let's see, is Tuesday? Tuesday's maybe exhibition.
Yeah.
Yankees are in Miami for an exhibition on Tuesday. The Mets, I guess, don't have one, but you got the Dodgers Angels freeway series. Kind of crazy. Does it feel like for you, obviously long off season, but does it feel like for you that the spring training portion went by really quick? Or it seems like we've been spring training well.
Yeah, I guess. It seems like normal, I guess. Not too fast, not too slow. Definitely ready for the start of the season, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let's go, dude.
It's go time. The fantasy draft tomorrow.
That's going to be so much fun, dude. I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you? Were you in the final? Josh B.
I think I finished the semifinal. I think I finished. Yeah, I lost.
Yeah.
I forgot who I was playing.
I think maybe what was it? Was it the Chief? Maybe
it might have been the Chief
because I think I lost to Josh B in the semis.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. So Yankees actually had a tie yesterday at the game.
Wow.
My parents were at. But you did get 3-3 tie with the Rays. But you did get Volpe with his fourth of the spring. Austin Wells has been unbelievable. I reached for him a little bit in my fantasy draft last night, Tony, but I'm telling you, 372, 837 slug, Ruthian numbers for Austin Wells. He made an adjustment, bringing back his leg kick. I feel like he could hit 30 home runs this year and win the Silver Slugger in the American League catcher.
Oh, yeah, dude. I think so, too. That would be great for you.
Yeah. And what do you think about the leadoff spot for him?
I don't know, man. You said that the other week, and I was kind of surprised, to be honest. But hey, if he has that type of mentality where he can be a good leadoff hitter, I could see it. I can certainly see it, and obviously Boone can as well. So, I love it, and he has the opportunity, not only to get on base, but also to offer some power in that first spot, right there too. So.
And I think it's something that we see around baseball. They kind of are, at least maybe not completely going away from the speed leadoff hitter, but there's so much more of a mix of it than there used to be. And they're even talking about Goldschmidt leading off against left-handers.
Wow. I like that.
Because obviously, the guy at the top of the lineup, he gets the most at bats, and it's like, sure, you want to hit home runs with, guys down, but I don't know. I think sometimes, do you feel like too, like the pitcher, he doesn't want to start off with the leadoff walk, so he's throwing the leadoff guy better pitches so that like you're gonna hit home runs. Where then if he was batting fifth, he's not getting the same pitches, and it might result in some better production.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Because we always lead off walk. Yeah. What happens with a leadoff walk? Comes around the score.
Yeah. All of a sudden, a double up. I can see that. So yeah, hopefully he'll get some good opportunities for some good pitches to hit.
Yeah. Also, yeah, like I said, Volpe and Wells with the homers. Max Fried, his final tune-up before he starts Saturday against the Brewers. Went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, so finishing the spring with a 3.38 earned run average. So yeah, I can't wait to see him. It's just crazy that here we are, only a few days away from the opener.
Yeah.
Before we get to Yankees Mets, 10-2.
10-2 over the weekend, dude. Explosive offense, which is great because I feel like last week, past maybe a week and a half, I've been saying, wow, it'd be great to see
some
offense, dude.
Right.
And it was cool. It is Lindor, Nimmo's, they're all the last spring training games. I don't think they'll be getting any starts today or anything like that. But still, I think Lindor had a couple of hits yesterday, which was great. Nothing crazy in terms of power, but just to see him make some good contact. Same thing with Nimmo. Had some younger guys as well who were able to contribute. But nonetheless, dude, you got to be pretty stoked with that type of offense going into the end of spring training. And I guess Griffin Canning, they have another good outing as well, which is nice. Again, I feel like as many other, people around baseball, but Mets fans specifically, are kind of like, I feel like a little timid to be like pumped about the rotation right now, especially with the injuries. It's nice to see players like Canning, kind of have a good outing. But like you said, I mean, the team hits were phenomenal. 15 hits as a team here. Vientos 1 for 3. Canario 3 for 4 night with 5 RBIs.
There we go.
And we've had, some younger guys, some no-name guys kind of have those opportunities. I feel like this spring training, which again, I mean, you're hyped for, but like we're not really going to see this guy much, and in the major league roster. But still, I mean, you're hyped to, I guess, have that opportunity in case someone goes down. Again, he's an outfielder. Marte goes down all the time, injured, so you can bring a guy.
Kind of forget he's even on the team.
Yeah, you really do because of how much time he misses.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not like stoked about him.
Right.
But I guess he is good for a couple home runs every so often, which is nice. But it is going to be interesting to see, I guess, how he plays. I mean, last year, you can definitely tell like the first half of the year he was like not playing as hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've done the stretch against Milwaukee, against the Braves, against the Phillies on the stretch of the season in August. I mean, he was a good player. Like he was making some good plays in the outfield. You can tell he was hustling more. And maybe that's just because he's, 34 now, right? And then because of the injuries, maybe he just does kind of take it easy, which is rather annoying.
Right.
But in any case, I mean, he's going to be on the roster, so whatever. You're hoping he stays healthy and definitely, contributes well in terms of the bat. But you got to be happy with that 10-2. And I mean, they were scoring all weekend long, too. I think they were 2 for 3 in the weekend, the Mets. So that was nice to see some actual wins coming up. And I know Terrens was 0 for 2 yesterday, but I think over the weekend he had a big, 3 RBI night, which, again, is nice to see him because I would imagine he's your starting catcher, come opening day. So that's going to be nice to have him kind of fill the void of Alvarez while he gets his, thumb surgery or whatever. And hopefully, you wish him a speedy recovery and comes back, mid-season form, basically.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that would be a big boost, like acquiring someone at the deadline, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, all on the line this afternoon. Port St. Lucie, TBD for the Mets. They haven't announced their starting pitcher. But the Yankees are going with Marcus Stroman. So his final tune-up before I believe he's going to start the third game of the season. And being a road game, you do have a lot of the non-starters playing in this one, but we do get to see Ben Rice leading off at first, Dominguez in left batting second, Jazz at second batting third, JC Escarra. Everyone saw the video of him finding out that he made the major league roster. All excited, has a great spring, batting cleanup, catching, hitting 333, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, 936 OPS, 30-year-old rookie. I mean, you love to see that.
Great story.
Everson Pereira, DH.
I think he was in the Mets organization for a little bit.
I know he bounced around a lot. I didn't realize he was with the Mets yet. And then you got Oswaldo Cabrera at third, Pablo Reyes in right, Mungaya in center, and then Oswald Peraza playing shortstop, batting ninth. Tony, what do we got for the Mets?
Well, of course, naturally, Francisco Lindor starting at short here, getting the leadoff spot. Then you have Juan Soto, who maybe sleeping with one eye open, maybe.
You think?
No.
They're spring. I mean, Stroman. I could see Stroman kind of trying to earn his teammates' respect.
I don't think he has the accuracy. Okay, dude. Alonso will be batting third, starting at first base. Nimmo batting cleanup, starting in left. You have Vientos getting the start at third base, so watch out for that, dude. He's batting fifth. Winker batting sixth at DH. Terrens the start at catcher. And then you have Beatty getting the start at second base, which is very interesting. And then Jose Siri rounding out this lineup, starting in center field as I get a potential spam call. Not even going to bother putting this on Bluetooth. Hello?
When it goes do that's what it is.
Can you describe to me Yankees spring training hat? And they hung up.
Yeah.
So actually a great lineup here. Interesting to see the TBD. I don't know if they're gonna just toss out some young guy or whatever, see what happens. But
last Mets tune up. Right?
Yeah, I mean legit lineup they're putting out there.
Yeah.
So
no concern about
the brushback. Yeah. Come on, dude. They're not gonna do it in a spring training game. Like, there's no way. That would be crazy.
I'm just saying Stroman is a wild card.
He is a little bit of a wild card. Obviously, he doesn't like the Mets organization either as a whole.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying, like, you might want to watch out for that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see, dude. But I wouldn't think they could do anything crazy. I mean, that would be ridiculous.
Riley was Ralph for it.
Yeah. He doesn't know what he's talking about, though.
What do we got here?
Tony lost in the semi and MLB. Barnes lost in the football. Ha. You did, he says. And then Ernie, I guess, is talking to Josh B. He had some solid drafts. I guess he's hyped for it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe next year I'll do like a bunch of different, leagues and stuff.
Yeah,
I can't imagine trying to manage multiple teams, so it's too much.
Yeah,
like you gotta slip up at some point where you go, you kind of maybe forget, or you thought you had this guy in this team, it's a different team.
You might slip up a little bit. You might slip up a little bit. I'll give you that. But just some other news around the league. Tough for the Rays. Shane McClanahan, who missed all of last year. I think it was coming off of Tommy John. He hasn't appeared in a game since 2023. Was one of the best starters in the league before this.
Yeah.
Will begin the season on the injury list with nerve irritation in his left triceps. Good news considering the left-hander avoided a major injury. Don't think we have a time frame yet. But the Rays, I think they're going to be dealing with a little lack of offense this year.
Oh yeah, maybe even a lack of winning too.
Yeah. So that's unfortunately a tough loss for them. But what are you going to do? They do seem to always piece it together somewhat, but I don't know if they'll be able to make a return to the playoffs this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then former Brave starter who at one time I feel like was pretty highly touted. Ian Anderson traded to the Atlanta Braves for Jose Suarez, but had a 2.65 ERA this spring, but had 18 walks over 17 innings, and hasn't pitched in the majors since 2022. Since going under the knife for Tommy John in 23, 22 and 13, 3.97 ERA over parts of 3 major league seasons. But it's interesting. I mean, it's I think a fire worth taking. I mean, it seems like the Angels have been looking for pitching for a decade, right? I mean,
yeah. And like you said, I mean, this guy was high touted, 3rd overall pick. Looks like back in 2016. So
Clifton Park,
New
York. I don't know, just New York native, right?
No, yeah, it's not just
New York
a New York
State
native dude. Went to Shenandoah High School. Okay. Shenandoah.
Usually, I'm the one to butcher it.
I mean, that's a tough one right
but
there.
But Shenandoah.
No way. It's Shenandoah. Shenandoah.
No, I'm not even looking at this.
Oh my god!
It just seemed like that's what.
There's a lot of E's and N's and W's in there. In any case, dude. I guess it's good for the Angels to take a flyer, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll see
they
what
need
happens.
it. Yeah.
Jose Suarez for one time was actually like pretty good left-handed pitcher, but he struggled the last couple of years. So maybe a change of scenery helps him. And a big blow for the Orioles here. Gunnar Henderson headed to the injured list. And he's been out since sustaining a strained intercostal muscle on February 27th that knocked him out of Grapefruit League games.
You got 10 minutes on intercostal muscles?
No, but isn't that like your abs or something? I thought, right?
I have no idea. Let's look it up. Intercostal muscle.
Played 159 games last year, 37 home runs, 92 RBIs.
It's part of your rib cage, linking each rib to its neighboring rib. Sounds like it hurts, dude.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
So we'll see if that sets the Orioles back to start of the season. And the M's releasing Mitch Haniger had a $15.5 million salary this season. Came over back to the Mariners, where he started his career from San Francisco. Was only 3 for 18 with a home run in 7 spring training games. So the vet gets, we'll see if he lands somewhere else. And speaking of vets, Manuel Margot, the former Tampa Bay Ray, Detroit Tigers, $1.3 million on a 1-year deal.
All right.
Some depth for the Tigers.
That's good.
John Pollock, right?
Yeah, hyped. I'm sure. I mean, that's good. Like no risk.
Yeah. Yeah. So just, interesting this time of year, guys get released. Sometimes, you can have some of those shrewd pickups that end up, really benefiting you, come the end of the season.
Honestly, like a Ryan Yarborough.
Yeah. Like, who knows, right? I mean, he could be this year's Tim Hill.
I mean, does he have like World Series experience? I mean, obviously deep in the playoffs with the Rays those couple of years.
Well, he was on the Dodgers last year.
I think
that's
right,
I'm pretty sure he pitched in the World Series.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, and you would think, he learned some good fundamentals over there in Tampa. So
all right, so there we go.
Yeah. So that's really where we're at. But like we said, we're pumped for the start of the season and the fantasy drafts, all of that, the smack talk.
Yeah,
I think we're due to like kind of beat down on Josh B this year, though.
Yeah, I told him he's not making
like getting the last laugh. Enough. But anyway, if we could go to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots. Top shelf. He scores. Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle. It's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping. Rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me? Turn. Side of the net. Between the legs and they score. Filthy. David Pasternak.
The silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right, Tony. So we are really in the nitty-gritty of the NHL season here. The Rangers did play on Saturday. The win for Sam Rosen.
That was huge.
That was big over Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rangers right now sitting 1 point behind Montreal for that last wildcard spot. But the Canadiens,
2 games.
The 2 game in hand. Rangers playing tomorrow against
LA
Kings.
Yeah, on the road, I believe.
Oh, wow. Kings at home.
Great record
at home. Yeah. I mean, did you catch the Vancouver game at all?
I did catch the Vancouver game. Johnny Brodzinski, I believe, 2 goals right that game. Love the grit. Love the level of play. JT Miller hauling ass all game. Igor looking good. But, listen, you beat the Canucks, which is great. A team not for nothing. Also, clamoring for a wild card spot. So you know that they're playing for a lot. I believe even Vancouver scored first too. You were down 1-0 early, I believe.
Mm.
And I think they scored 3 goals. The Rangers did in the third period, I think. And honestly, and in between there, Vancouver was with them the whole way. Like anytime the Rangers scored, Vancouver answers. And the Rangers were finding a way to again dig deep, get gritty, and get some good goals. I will say, offensively speaking, I believe they had 12 shots
11.
on goal. 11?
Yeah. And the Canucks, Tony, had 39.
No, dude. Obviously, Igor playing a significant role. But yes, you scored more. Obviously, you were capitalizing on those opportunities, so I guess that's good. But damn, dude, you're talking, back-to-back games, you have less than 25 shots on goal, dude.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Like total between those 2 games, not like back-to-back games less than 25. Like total 2 games less than 25 shots, and that's obviously one results in a loss, one results in a win here. But still, you got to generate some more offense. You got to challenge a goaltender, some more. That being said, they were playing aggressively.
Mm-hmm. For Rosen,
maybe for Rosen,
yeah.
Because you the way they were entering zones, there was always a trail or two, a guy trailing behind the play who ends up finding his way in front of the net, like a Johnny Brodzinski scoring his goal, which is great. Let's do that way more. I feel like I haven't seen the Rangers do that often enough this year, where they do kind of, have a good forecheck. They dump it in and they're chasing after it. And then some guy just kind of, skates in behind the play in the middle of the ice and is able to be open, They got to do that way more often, which would be great. And of course, listen, if they're scoring goals, I guess I really don't care about the shots on goal, but it is like, a little worrisome here, Brian.
And one of those shots is the empty netter from Miller, right?
Yeah.
So really 10 contested shots.
Like kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah.
To think about just the lack of shots on goal and why that is. But hey, I mean, you beat Vancouver. It's on to the next game. You got to obviously still win. I mean, what do we have? 12 games left? 11 games for the Rangers.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You have to win
Jesus,
9
dude,
or no?
10? Win all 12.
No, but you really think they would have to win 10 to get in?
I mean, let's see. I mean, if we're trying to catch Montreal here, again, they have 2 more
They're at
games
the Blues
than
tomorrow.
us. So let's see what Montreal is looking like the next I guess they'll have what 12, 13 games. So they have Blues. Let's call that a win. Philly win 2-0. Carolina, let's say they lose. Maybe they'll sneak one past Florida, right? So it's 3-2 right now. Boston lost. Philly another win. Let's say that's 4-3. Nashville 5-3. Detroit 6-3. Let's say they lose to Ottawa.
Lose to Toronto.
6-5.
Beat Chicago 7-5, and then lose to the Carolina 7-6.
So they'll have 7.
So we need 10. I mean, just to
keep it safe.
Yeah. Other teams.
We can call it 9 if you want, dude.
8 would be towing it.
8 would be towing the line.
What are the chances we even win 6?
I mean, it's tough, dude. I guess we can take a little gander. I don't know what the rest of the schedule is. I know that Ottawa is involved, probably Washington too, right?
Minnesota,
really? So again, LA on the road loss.
Yep.
But then back-to-back wins. Anaheim, San Jose, 2-1. They just beat Minnesota.
So I mean, even if we say, okay, 3-1, Devils
4-1.
Lose to Tampa Bay 4-2. Beat Philadelphia 5-2. Beat the Islanders 6-2. Lose to Carolina 7-2. Lose to Florida 7-3. Lose to Tampa 7-4.
I know that's fucking tough, dude. It's not a
final 3.
Those 3 games are so tough, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you just maybe hope that all like Florida, Tampa Bay, all teams that are in it
don't have their backup tenders,
you know,
bring up the AHL guys.
Yeah, yes, bring up the AHL guys.
Which they don't do.
They really don't do. They won't do that, really. So, I mean, not for nothing. We just went through that with 7 wins, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we need 9.
we need 7 would be like we don't have it. You would need Montreal to lose some more games.
Come on.
They gotta step up, dude. Is right, dude. I mean, and even the Islanders. Let's see. I don't even know. Are the Islanders? The Islanders are in play. They're right behind us. Fuck.
Yeah, and then 2 games. Yeah, 2 games in hand. Yeah. So just gotta win them all. That's what it is, right?
You gotta win them all, dude. Oh my god, dude.
But just taking a quick look here. Last night, we saw the Blackhawks actually surprisingly score 7 against the Flyers, albeit. So they win 7-4 there. The Sabres, the surprise win over the Jets, 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely a surprise on the road of all places. I mean, only the Jets' 6 regulation home loss. The Penguins take the Panthers to the brink, but end up ultimately losing 4-3 in a shootout there. We saw the Blues 4-1 over the Predators at home.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden Knights 4-2 over the Lightning. And we saw the Hurricanes 5-2 over the Ducks. How about Taylor Hall with the hat trick?
Love to see that out of him, dude. That's huge.
So if he's able to give them some juice in the playoffs, maybe they finally get, over the hump. They've had problems advancing past the second round. And then your Kings 7-2 over the Bruins. Obviously, we're hoping that we don't have that result tomorrow.
Damn, dude, they've been playing good at home.
Quentin Byfield with a goal and an assist. Warren Fogle with a goal, and Kempe with 2 assists there. 25-3-4. I mean, that is one of the strongest home records I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, they've been playing some great hockey overall. Obviously, even better hockey at home. And it's going to be tough. I mean, they have a nice little off day, and then they're staying at home because the Rangers are visiting them.
Yeah.
So they're
kind of interesting
rested.
too. East Coast teams coming in, like how that, because obviously their opponents, like it's not related, but just how they happen to be back to back, Boston and New York.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just flights. I don't know.
Yeah, could be flights, right? Batman getting the bulk deal. Teams play for the flights.
Yeah, dude. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a tough game.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah. But, I mean, over or under 9%, you think?
Of a win?
Of winning or of getting to the playoffs.
Over under 9%, dude. I would say it's over 9, but it's like, 17.
Yeah, I think it's right at 9, honestly.
It's a push.
Kings win would change things for sure. But
winning against the Kings?
yeah. That's how you make the playoffs. You beat those teams that were counting as losses.
Is it like, do you just start quick and just have him get the shutout against his former team?
Yeah.
I mean, why
I think
not,
you do.
dude,
Igor's
right?
played a lot of games in a row.
He has played a lot of games in a row. And I mean, not for nothing, you need him for Toronto, for Florida, for upcoming games, for Minnesota. Even, dude.
Yeah.
Even though
the Panthers.
Did Quick get the start against Minnesota? I think he may have.
He might have. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Minnesota, beatable team, but obviously take it one game at a time. Starts tomorrow. If they beat the Kings, does the 9% increase that much for you?
I'll go to 12.
Okay, that's solid.
Yeah, but it's like you have to kind of string 3 in a row. I think.
Yeah,
to like really just kind
really
of
move the needle.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But we do have 4 tonight, Tony.
4 good
for
ones.
A Monday edition of the Frozen Frenzy.
Absolutely, dude. And this frenzy, of course, brought to you by the Hirsch Law Firm, dude. Let's get started on this Monday, dude. We got some 4-pack, but a solid 4-pack at that, dude. Speaking of Minnesota, 8 p.m. they'll be going to Dallas, taking on the Stars here. Minnesota coming in here as the road dog at plus 180. Over under is 5.5, sir. And the regular season series is tied at 1 here. And they play 2 more times. Wild 3-game win streak right now. Are they improving to 4?
I think they're getting their wins out of the way, before they come to Madison Square Garden in the second.
Yes.
So that would mean they're winning this one. I think a tight game. Last time they played 3-2. I think this is more a 4-3. Eriksson Ek, the game winner in overtime. Wow. Give me Minnesota and the over.
I like that call. Right now, they are hot, outscoring their opponents in the last 3 games. What is that? 11-2, dude. Which is pretty wild if you think about it. Obviously, maybe the teams weren't that great, Buffalo, Seattle, but they did beat LA. So I think they can beat Dallas, dude. Give me the Wild here, edging this one out. I know the last one was in OT. This one will be in regulation, like the 4-2 call, maybe late night, empty netter towards the end there. But Dallas falls here to Minnesota 4-2, so it's the Wild and the over. Next game, let's move on to 7:30 p.m. here at the New Jersey Prudential Center. A team that's obviously doing pretty well right now. They're in the playoff spot. They'll be playing the Vancouver Canucks, dude. Canucks, like I said, still clamoring for that wild card spot. The Canucks coming here plus 120, over under 5.5. Devils struggling right now, back-to-back losses to Canadian teams, Calgary and Ottawa, respectively. Canucks also back-to-back losses, the Rangers being the most recent one. Which team is bouncing back here tonight?
I like the Canucks. I think a big bounce-back spot and a reunion of the Hughes brothers, even though
nice.
Jack's not playing. But they have Luke, right?
Yes, correct.
Luke Hughes.
Yeah, dog.
But I think Quinn Hughes gets the last laugh here. Tight game, but I think the Canucks empty netter late by Quinn, and they end up winning 3-1. So give me the Canucks and the under.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Canucks are playing for a little bit more here, I suppose. Yeah, they need a win here, certainly, to at least make it competitive. For the wild card here, I think Quinn Hughes takes absolute control of this game. Perhaps even a hat trick, maybe 5 points on the night. Canucks go on to win this game. I'll say 5-2. So there's Vancouver plus 120 and the over there, dude. Next game, still 7:30 p.m. We're going to go to, honestly, a little hop, skip, and a jump here to UBS as the Islanders are going to be hosting the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is pretty interesting. It's really like, who do you really want to win here, I suppose? Because obviously, Islanders right behind us, Columbus right behind them as well. Columbus coming in here as the dogs, plus 110. Over under is 6.5 here. Look at the last few games. Islanders have won 3 of their last 5, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are on a 6-game losing streak. Kind of as many people have anticipated, a team that's overcome many expectations all year long. Finally, maybe being brought down to earth Are the Islanders keeping them here tonight?
Islanders in a must-win spot down the stretch against a team with a big losing streak. I mean, you tell me, Tony. But I'm going to say Columbus gets it done.
Wow.
2-1 shootout. And dare I say Marchenko, the game winner? So Columbus in the under?
I love that call there. Kirill Marchenko will be a good one for sure. I mean, maybe I'm betting with my heart a little bit, but I'm going to follow your sentiment of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Another dog coming in here on the road, getting the dub that they need. Obviously helping the Rangers out a little bit by keeping the Islanders at bay. But I just feel like two Islanders, yes, they played well. Tough loss to Calgary 2 nights ago in overtime. I mean, you hate to see that against a team who, and honestly, in my opinion, is lesser than the Islanders. So give me the Blue Jackets bouncing back. I love Marchenko getting on the board. Zach Werenski, problem that when he played against the Rangers, no doubt, and won out a Danforth goal as well. Spreading the wealth is Columbus as they move on to win. I'm going to say 4-2. So give me Columbus and the under on this one. Fourth and final game here. We're going to Utah as John Powell will be tuning in 9 p.m. as the Red Wings are visiting the hockey club here at the Delta Center. Detroit coming in here as dogs themselves, plus 140. Over under is 6.5. Utah working on back-to-back wins. Detroit working on back-to-back losses. Seems like they're going to be on the outside looking in, but they're still kind of in it here at 70 points. What do you got?
Yeah, sorry, John. Gotta go with Utah here. And really, I think, right? I mean, a pretty respectable season for the former Coyotes here.
Yeah, that's right. No, absolutely.
Probably gonna miss the playoffs, but if they were in the East, they might have made the playoffs. So I think a defensive game here as well. I'm feeling a 2-1. Maybe Vizmelka, like a 38 of 39 in net. So give me Utah and the under.
Wow, I guess we're going to be in almost every game here today. Unfortunately, dude, listen, I would pull for Detroit. Patrick Kane, Dylan Larkin, dude. Obviously, Lyon, too. Talbot, former Ranger great, on the team. But unfortunately, Detroit, I mean, in the most important part of their season, they're losing games, And, Brian, you mentioned Utah, respectable year. I would say more than that coming from what they were looking at last year in Arizona. They're also, they could have a wild card spot in their sights as well. Look at the standings. They have 75 points. Maybe a lot of work to get back up to 81. It will take a village here. But
Two games in hand.
Could start tonight, dude. Yeah, a couple games in hand, and they probably will be beating Detroit. I'm going to make it pretty clean. Maybe like a 3-1 Detroit, not having a bunch of offense there, struggling to score. So give me Utah and the under, Brian.
And just like that, that is your Monday edition of the Frozen Frenzy. You caught me mid-hat itch.
Oh, that's tough, dude.
And so a little slate there tonight.
Good slate.
And I was looking at this too. I was just seeing if anything else, came across the screen. And I had heard about this, but I didn't see like the details. And this story just came out from the AP about 20 minutes ago. Mookie Betts still dealing with an illness, and his return remains uncertain. He missed the Dodgers' first 2 games of the regular season at the Tokyo Dome, sent back to LA to continue recovering. Late scratch for the exhibition game yesterday against the Angels. He hasn't been able to keep solid food down without vomiting for 2 weeks and has lost about 15 pounds during that time. He says, I feel great. Like, my body feels great. Like, I'm able to work out. I've been able to do pretty much everything but eat, which is strange. Symptoms have kind of gone away, so I had to figure out how to get my stomach to calm down. I've just never been able to, never heard of such a thing.
No, that sounds like pretty horrible. And I do hope him a nice recovery here, because like I said, that doesn't sound pleasant at all.
And then also quoting Betts, he says, it's just hard to fathom not eating and going to play a game. So it looks like I'm just going to be light for a little bit. Maybe I play an uphill a little bit beginning of the season, but no, I just want to play, man. I'm tired of sitting, tired of throwing up, tired of doing this all. I just really want to play. And he's making the full-time transition to shortstop this season after playing most of his career at right field and second base.
I mean, not for nothing. He's kind of a small guy too. To drop 15 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not good.
I mean, you would think with the nutritionist, they'll kind of stabilize things, get him back
for sure
before we know it. So obviously, we wish him, a speedy recovery there. And then also, Michael Buckley had a couple.
He actually does talk about Gardy's son passing away.
Yeah, terrible story there. Only 14 years old.
Yeah.
Some illness that they got on vacation. I don't know where it was, but just passed away in his sleep. And they were talking about that on DNR this morning. I mean, just
Very
such
sad.
a brutal situation. And you feel just so terribly for the family, and you just think about keeping them in everyone's prayers.
Absolutely, dude. And he was go back to what we were talking about last night. Sterling's call,
The Gardy party.
The Gardy party.
Good
That
one.
is a pretty good call.
Yeah. And
very unfortunate.
Yes,
Michael. Everyone is mourning for sure, dude. It's very sad.
And then I guess the only thing I was just going to double check just to see if we had any other sports news before we wrapped it up. But I guess there was a Juan Soto, Aaron Boone little tap dap up that I just saw from Greg Joyce.
Really? How does it look?
Yeah, I mean, it looked copacetic, as you would say, Tony.
That's good. I think they're making. I think Rick and Dave were talking about. They're doing a little short mini series on Juan Soto, like a docu series.
Who is though?
I forget who he says.
Is Dave part of it?
Juan Soto docu series. Let's see. Review. I guess maybe the Mets are doing it. The Pursuit, chronicling the signing of Juan Soto.
Yeah, so that's something.
I guess it'll be on Mets YouTube channel. I'm sure you're subscribed.
Yeah, I'm sure I will be not watching that. Up, and and then I guess Chris Kirschner reporting here is Yarbrough and why he signed with the Yankees. There are other teams, but this is by far the most he was interested in. I've heard a lot from the pitching side about what they've been able to do with guys. That was exciting and intriguing to me. So that's good to hear. And then I guess Boone, a little interview here, saying that he told Soto he looks terrible in that uniform. Like that's like a real quote.
That's so funny, dude.
No, but I'm reading the quote.
Like he's so funny. Like Aaron Boone is hilarious, dude. I'm sure that's why everyone really likes him. I'm sure that's why Juan Soto wanted to stay too.
I mean, one thing I will say, obviously, I haven't been the biggest Boone guy. It does seem like universally he is actually well liked, though.
They do say that.
Yeah. And then what do we got for Michael?
He says that sounds stupid for the docu series. He says what a waste of money.
Interesting.
Obviously, hater, all the haters out there, whatever, dude. I look forward to maybe watching it. I don't know, maybe I will. I haven't really watched anything that the Mets really produce in terms of that on their YouTube channel.
Yeah,
obviously,
I mean,
the normal social stuff, but
yeah,
I haven't seen anything like that. So maybe I'll tune in.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you will tune in.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk about it on Binge Buddies too. Then
yeah,
why not? I'll talk about it on SportSport too.
I mean, I didn't say anything about that. And then I mean, I guess that's really it. Lakers back in action. Maybe they won't lose by a 50 again today. Hopefully Michael Bucket didn't hear that. But they are playing the Magic in Orlando. 3.5-point road favorites, but the Magic, have dealt with injuries all year. You got Pablo Banchero there.
Mm-hmm.
So you never know. But I mean, it's an important time for them right now as they gear, towards making a run, and they only have 12 games remaining, including this one. So we're coming down to the wire in the NBA. The season that was, Tony, the season that we didn't see. It's
pretty
coming
wild.
to an end, right?
Pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the playoffs, you gonna be in the playoffs.
What do you mean into the playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, it's baseball season, no?
Yeah, that's true. NHL playoffs.
I'll never forget. I was so pissed. So it was last year in April, and it's like the playoffs of the NBA, and the Yankees are playing a game. I remember it was against the Diamondbacks or whatever, but like there's only a couple TVs in the lounge area. So I have the Yankees on. And he's like dying to like watch the Celtics, and he's like, "You're really watching the Yankees April game like over the NBA playoffs?" And I literally just go, "Yeah." It's like, get out of here with the fucking basketball bullshit.
Honestly, dude.
Maybe one day it'll be okay.
Maybe.
And then what else do we have here?
Well, oh man. Michael Buck says, Barnes, I heard that loud and clear. Don't think negative, dude.
Oh.
And then Michael does say DeAndre Jordan turned back the clock.
Did he get up on a dunk? I mean, do we have that? Or?
I don't know. Let's see. I don't even know. Let's see.
The Clippers, biggest waste of talent ever.
Do we have something, dude?
Michael saying The Godfather.
Throwing it down, dude. I guess maybe I should go to Twitter for that one.
Several dunks, according to Michael.
Really,
Beautiful.
dude? DeAndre Jordan. This is last night, 11 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 71% from the field, over 30 minutes.
I think this looks like something here.
Yeah, this is a little something against Denver here. Let's show the people. Oh, hold on. Showing the people. Bang. And then several dunks, dude. And I guess
are they showing several?
Massive reverse here. Let's see it again here. You'll see him kind of near the hoop. And it's I mean, you know.
I guess he can still play in the league. Doesn't have to retire yet, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a stat. That is a big stat.
Yeah, no, that is great, dude. I guess everyone is pretty hyped about it. No, this is old. This dude's talking about. I don't even know what. Is that really all we have? Oh, here's another. Is this the same play? Yeah, this is the same play.
I mean, nice.
Yeah.
Right? So
I mean, he's been in the league forever, right? He's pretty old.
What about how Michael must think I'm older than I am because he's saying that I need to be I'm his godfather.
The Godfather?
I mean, a little ridiculous, and somehow that means I have to take off the NHL, which I mean, listen, to watch Snow White, it's like, Michael, we've been over it. There's no Snow White. There's no Disney. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Michael, I told him a few times. I mean, he's not.
It's just not.
There's no way.
It's like getting you to agree to the brushback. Honestly, it's not going to happen.
It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, dude.
Oh man! But
wow, he says Barnes equals. I don't know if he's talking about himself in the third person or Michael Theophil, but he says you equal Michael's Godfather.
And then Michael Theophil saying Snow White got the worst box office opening of any live action.
Really? I honestly didn't even know it was out yet. To be honest, dude. Well, there we go. That's great. But safe to say, I guess it is. Yeah, it came out on Thursday.
Wow, bombing at the box office.
Is bombing, dude. Its budget, by the way, is $209 million.
Wait,
209 million.
Wow.
Let's see if it'll just give us the box office number here without clicking on an article. It doesn't. Bombing 44%, Rotten Tomatoes. It brought in $87 million globally and just $43 million. They are definitely in the hole, dude. And just like a little FYI, those budget numbers, $209 million, doesn't include like the budget they put out for like marketing and stuff like that.
So they're fucked.
So you don't only tack on like another 50 to 100 million.
Yeah. So flop.
Not good, dude.
Come on.
And then Michael Buckta, dude.
Snow White trash,
dude. The live action Disney movies aren't as good as the OGs. Everyone knows that, dude. And Ernie said,
falling asleep during Captain America.
Wow, almost watched it yesterday instead of falling asleep during Captain America, dude. That's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough.
I guess the new Captain America, the new one was not that good, dude.
Really?
Yeah, no, it wasn't good. I mean, it's just Chris Evans is gone now.
The new one is trash.
The new one is trash, Ernie. Yep.
Michael Buck insisting that he's seeing Snow White at some point.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm sure you will, dude. Maybe
right?
I will. Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I would say, another great show today. Really appreciate everybody who tuned in and continues to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume merch at DowntimeTV.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.